Hello and welcome to the ninth episode of the Gochuucast, and today we're simply going to be talking about some of the new seasonals that are here for summer of 2022. I usually do like a personal video on my channel. I haven't done that yet, but this will be like an interesting like prequel, I guess. I can actually learn about things instead of just reading them at the moment. So I've missed things before, but yeah, I guess I'll start us off since I'm probably most definitely watching the most out of the three of us.
Okay.
Let's see. Actually, I think this should be everything. So I guess there's the things that are continuing into this season with summertime render or summertime rendering, whatever the fuck the actual title is. Awashi and a couple of Kakus are my continuations, and then I am watching Licorice Recoil, Engage Kiss, Prima Doll. Let's see. I want to get through the new stuff before anything. When will Aoyumu, yeah, make his move? Let's see. The stepmom's daughter's my ex. Is Pharmacy Isekai, and I think that's all the new ones. And then I have a bunch of sequels and stuff with Classroom of the
I'm
Elite,
watching a decent
Overlord.
amount of that list that you just said too.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but some.
I'm like trying to binge my way through both Part Timer and Made in Abyss so I can watch the second seasons for those.
Let's go.
Like 4 episodes into Part Timer. I'll probably finish that by tomorrow.
Have you started Made in Abyss?
No, I probably should have done that one first because it airs tomorrow. But
I saw it recently.
yeah,
It's interesting. I don't know if I'd watch the second season, but I don't know. A lot of people like it. So.
I don't know anything about Made in Abyss, but I've heard from people who watched the first episode at like AX22 that it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And also like people give the show pretty high ratings generally
Yep.
from
it was
what
like
I've seen.
for
It's very interesting.
for
It's very interesting.
Crunchyroll,
For
it was
sure.
like their anime of the year for like 2017, I
Yeah.
think. But it's like the first season isn't that long. I think it's like the standard season, but then it has 3 movies afterward,
Yes.
which I didn't
Yes.
know.
I haven't seen it.
I thought it had like one or two maybe, but I didn't know
Yeah.
I had three.
I can see why people like it. I think it has a lot of aspects that I really liked. Like, for example, I think the music was really good.
Yeah, it's Kevin
And I
Bacon.
think the like animation was interesting. Just personally, the premise. I'm not a big like fantasy guy, so I always get like a little bit weirded out if there are like a lot of like strange creatures and stuff like that. So that's the only thing that like kind of weirded me out about the show, which I guess prevented me from liking it as much as others. But I definitely can see why other people like it. It's a very interesting show with a unique premise. So yeah, hopefully
The
you
other
like
thing,
it.
yeah, I know about it is people tend to say it's like not quite what you expect from looking at like the art and
Yeah.
like just seeing the series at a glance.
And like
Yes.
the
Yes.
character designs especially
Yes.
because they're all like kids or whatever.
Chibi.
I guess it's what
Yeah.
puts some people off about it,
Yes.
especially because I've seen some scene or like one scene. And it seemed pretty
Mhm.
fucked up, and so
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, if it's a scene that I thinking about, then yeah. I mean, then you know what's going.
I can tell
at
like
least.
it's definitely a more mature audience that
Yes,
it's looking
yes,
for.
for sure, for sure.
And then the grind that you're doing with that and part timer is like the same grind that I think I'm gonna do with Danmachi. Maybe.
Season
I don't know.
3 is
You
good.
always say that season 3 is good. I've told you, but I dropped after season 2, which was not very good. And it's not necessarily something I never planned to pick up, but it was definitely something that I was just like, I don't want to watch this anymore after finishing the however far I got into season 2. And season 3 came out at some point, and I just wasn't interested. Now season 4 has come out. I've heard some more things about like season 3 being decent, season 4 potentially being good. I haven't really heard much about season 4 because it obviously hasn't aired. The friends that I know that know stuff about Danmachi, I don't think any of you guys read it.
No,
So none of you
I-
guys know like the content. Mars doesn't read it for sure.
It's a very popular light novel. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
one of the most, if not the
Which-
most popular in Japan or something.
Which doesn't always translate to it being good, but the fact that you guys also say that season 3 was pretty decent makes me feel like, okay, well, I already got through the season 2 anyway, so I might as well give it another shot at some point. And I'll probably do that over the next 2 weeks because the episode airs so late into the season anyway.
Yeah, it's over 2 weeks from this recording day, so we got a little bit of time before it airs. But season 3 was, I think season 1 was definitely like, it was kind of like a quirky show. Like, you could watch it, maybe have a little bit of fun, but you didn't think much of it. It was just kind of like a goofy watch. In season 2, I guess tried to get like slightly more serious, but still wasn't that great. I think mainly because of the setting, allowed for a lot of anime goofiness, which felt weird, like with all the seriousness that was happening. But I feel like 3 takes itself seriously from like start to finish, basically, and I think it does good for that. And it has like some interesting like
I remember
ideas.
I watched season 1 like early into me watching anime, and I enjoyed it. It was like fun, as you said. I didn't watch it and think like this is a masterpiece, but I thought it was fun. I liked the MC quite a bit, stuff like that. And then season 2 comes out, and at that point, I had like a few more things under my belt, right? I kind of had like an
it's an
idea of like
isekai,
what
right?
I enjoy.
No, it's just a fantasy.
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Is
I mean-
Dr. Stone an isekai?
No, it's not
Yeah.
isekai. We're not going back to this.
Of course. And also, I'm not gonna rewatch it, but I feel like I don't remember anything about Classroom of the Elite, and I still need to watch episode 1 of that.
I watched it. It was good. Or like, yeah. I mean, no, it was good. I don't know. I just like the stupid games, the stupid mind games that they have. I don't know why. It just like scratches an itch for me. That's why I like the show. I don't even like. I couldn't analyze the show for you or tell you what makes it good or bad. I just like the stupid mind games, and it just scratches the itch. That's all.
It's something I'm definitely gonna read the novel for eventually, because
Yeah, I heard it's a lot more detailed.
It's episode 1, and novel readers are already like, this is not gonna end well, basically. So
also, like the entirety of season 1, this was like another thing that a lot of manga readers talked about, was just like
the novel
not necessarily that the season was bad, but that it was just way worse in their opinion.
No, because it rushed. You would get like introduced to like random characters you've like never seen before. Like, don't get me wrong, I loved the first season. So I mean, I just liked it because again, like I just like the concept. But like you just get like introduced to like random characters in like episodes like 9, 10, and 11. You could tell like it was kind of rushed. So I can see why they would hate it.
It's like I've heard the main character is also like portrayed completely differently, basically, in the anime versus the novel.
Oh, really?
Which I could see definitely, because when it comes to novels, right, you have a lot of and this is always why I read from the beginning, even if I've already like seen an anime of the material I'm reading. But the internal like thinking and monologues that go on add so much character to, and it really, you can't like translate that to anime, because you can't have your character thinking all this detail, because you don't have the time for it, and it wouldn't really like flow. So you lose out a lot of detail, and I'm sure there's a lot of character stuff that gets left out as well. But I think if the main character isn't the one being portrayed correctly, that definitely causes problems down the line.
I also heard he's like in a relationship in the light novel.
I think we'll probably
like at the same point that we're at.
I doubt like the same.
No, I'm like pretty sure.
I've seen stuff about it. I don't think we've gotten to that point yet.
You think so? Okay, maybe I don't know.
But I've also heard that in the anime, for some reason, like the class size is reduced from 40 to 25, which can only cause issues down the road. And so I guess slight spoiler for episode 1, they start a new game. Crazy.
Yes.
But the size of the game has to be reduced because they don't have enough
people.
They don't have enough people or whatever. So it was supposed to be, you know how they did like the 8 planets or whatever as their groups?
Yes.
Well, it's supposed to be like the 12 zodiacs.
Okay.
And while I've heard that it's not going to affect anything like it for this game, the class reduction will obviously cause issues down the road, because I'm sure like it's probably like you won't meet every character from every class or whatever, but like you have those slots there to introduce people if you need to.
Mhm.
I can see why they wouldn't want to animate 40 people like per class or whatever, but in the end, it's just gonna hurt the actual
It's
show.
just also gonna
Yes, possible.
And the new game's kind of confusing. I'm not gonna lie. Like I think if I went
Yeah,
back,
it's weird. It's really like you have to think about it. I kind
It's-
of get the concept, but
I
it's
get
like
the idea, but they explained it so fast and like they gave you like
yeah,
four.
they don't explain it well.
They
don't
give you like
explain it
4 scenarios, and it's like, okay,
Yep.
I could like pause and read everything that's happening here, or I could just
Yeah.
continue watching the episode. I don't want to
Yeah.
go back and have to deal with that.
well. Yeah, it's complicated.
all
kinda
I
get the
know
point,
about it
but-
is all the memes keep comparing it to Among Us.
I mean, kind of. It's
I
kind
mean,
it's
a little bit, yeah. I think I have an idea of like we can't even talk about the first episode. I don't want to spoil too much because
we do a little bit of Sussy Bucket. That's all I'll say.
I feel like I know who the okay. It's like a VIP game, not like
I'll say
Among Us or
imposter.
whatever. You have to like choose the.
Yeah.
I'll say
I
imposter.
feel like I've generally figured out who the VIP is already from episode 1.
You figured it out? Name the VIP. Don't actually name the VIP. But yeah.
I
That'll be
mean,
interesting.
it's not like I've
That'll be
figured it
interesting.
out, but just based on like what I've seen, I think I have a general consensus of how this is going to
Okay.
go.
Okay.
Maybe
Me
I'll be
too,
wrong.
but-
Maybe I'll be wrong. But
Yeah, that's the fun. I'm telling you, that's why I like the show. It's like I saw the first season like all in one shot, right? Essentially, like over the course of a few days. But like I can only imagine like what it's like watching one episode at a time because it's like you don't know the answer, you don't know the answer. It's like, oh my gosh! Now it's just like I want to watch the next episode because I want to figure out who the imposter is, dude.
you said not to say imposter, and then you
I
said
know.
imposter. The hypocrisy here is
Don't get mad
incredible.
at me, please.
But I do think the one thing like with season 1, especially like with the island arc at the end.
Yes.
I guess spoilers for Classroom of the Elite if you haven't seen it by now. But I feel like by the end of it, I didn't really have a chance to ever figure anything out. Like I could have figured out like some of the basic things, like
It happened very fast.
like X person isn't the leader or whatever,
Mhm.
and I could figure out that he was gonna like switch captain, stuff like that, and like bamboozle everyone. But there are like also some details like you couldn't have known. Like you couldn't have known that one motherfucker did not go back to the boat and was like living on the island.
No, you couldn't have.
There's just so many like, but like I guess there's like very small details that you know you'd have to like.
No, they don't show it. They don't hit you enough. Like I know that's like sounds really stupid. Like they're not gonna spoon feed you the answer, but I feel like in some parts they did it really well, but in the latter half of the island arc, it's like they kind of just hit you with all the information at once, and it's like I don't even remember like seeing a lot of this.
Yeah,
So
like the reason that the main character is like, oh yeah, I knew he stayed on the island
Yep.
because that one time we visited him and he had like a walkie-talkie with him. Like, okay, buddy, like
yeah, it's a stretch.
astute
Or at least-
observation.
yeah.
But it's kind of like I watched Tomodachi Game recently.
Bob
and
the Builder,
while-
let's go.
And so in one of the games or whatever, they're like, oh, this dude had like a master plan. You gotta watch what he did, and it like goes back over like how he figured out this one dude was like kind of like betraying them in some way, and it went over his process, and it showed like like you couldn't have figured it out like when you're fucking watching it because you're just watching the episode. And you're not gonna see these random details. But like there's one time he like took two pieces of paper, so he could do like some crazy stuff to like smoke out the guy. And it's like this world's smallest, like you get like one frame of this one small detail, and they're like, oh, look how smart this is. It doesn't feel, I guess like for the character itself, it's still smart, but I don't know. I hate smart in anime. It's so hard to write and feel organic.
I think
Yeah.
it's more fun when you can like kind of piece with those types of stories when you have the like materials to actually piece stuff together.
Mhm.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's some of the fun I had with summertime rendering, like at the very start, is I could understand like certain parts of this mystery that I'm like I figured out like episode 2, like something that had happened. I'm like, all right, this is how this happened. But then you're like, but where does it go from here? And you have to like slowly get more information. And I like when you learn things as the characters learn them. I think with summertime rendering, it's like they don't like go out of your way to like look how smart this character is. They'll do something like common sense that you think is smart. Like, how far are you in Sped? You said you watched one episode, or did you watch multiple?
Of which?
We
Which
watched
show?
one.
Summertime.
Oh no, only one episode.
Okay, well, unfortunately, my discussion would take us into episode 2, so I have to.
That's fine.
hold
That's fine. I'll watch episode 2 soon.
So basically, he knows that this, the shadow or whatever, is gonna like stand outside his house, and so he sets up his phone and like records it.
Yeah.
It's like so basic, and it's not like
Yes.
it's not like the
it's
world's
not actually
smartest
smart.
thing, but it's like a generally intelligent thing that most characters would not do, and it doesn't make it feel like too crazy. Like he like looked at the stars and saw that they were aligning on the full moon next year or something like that, and he was able to figure out how to do something. It's just normal.
Yeah,
and I
just
feel
found,
like
a normal solution that anyone could and probably would think of, and he just did it.
yeah, like and there's like other stuff like later into the series that I can't get into, but because they're way too far away from episode 1. But he just does things that make sense, and you never see that. And so I feel like I appreciate him just having common sense.
Maybe
more than,
every
like,
anime character is just stupid.
Yeah, that
basically
in a
I don't
lot
know,
of
maybe
ways,
that's a
feels true
conclusion.
sometimes.
But like, yeah, just seeing him do normal things, and it's like he's not the world's greatest detective or anything. He's like slowly figuring things out as you figure them out. And I feel like while he does like common sense things on the side, and there's more stuff that he does that I like, but I once again can't get into that.
Sure. No problem.
But
fine.
Yeah, I'll be.
Yes,
of course,
other
watching.
things getting new seasons. None of us really care about Overlord, I don't think.
I'm watching.
I don't even know what that show's about.
I'm watching season 4. I don't know if I like particularly like care for it too much. It's something.
But you'll be watching it.
I'm
That's
watching
fair.
it. I think it's like it's an interesting like take on isekai to where you get like you get the bad guy perspective instead, which I think is interesting. I think some of the characters go a little over the top sometimes, and it keeps a lot of like the same humor over time, which can kind of get stale. Like, so one of the shticks of the show, I guess, is that the dude who is the Overlord or whatever, he's the big bad guy, but he's just like some normal fucking dude, and who's like been thrusted into this position of power, and all of his like subordinates, they are all like infinitely smarter than him, but like they all revere him as the Lord, so they think he's super smart, and so he'll like beat around the bush to like get them to like explain
Get them
plans
to
and
give
stuff.
the answer. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be like, oh, and they're like, oh, you did this because you knew this would happen. Or like, oh, yep, that's totally what I did. And they don't question anything because they are like fully subservient to him. But I think it's just interesting. But some of the character stuff does get old. Like, there are like 2 of his like female servants or whatever, like extremely horny for him, even though he's like a literal skeleton. But I don't know. It's an interesting show. I think it's an interesting world, but I don't like some of the side stuff that happens in it.
I think a long time ago I watched like 4 episodes of it. Didn't really feel that into it. I couldn't tell you why. I didn't have like a reason.
I'd say
just watched
season
4
1
episodes.
is easily the worst season.
I watched those 4 episodes and I was just like, I just don't think this one's for me.
Yeah, season 1 doesn't really explore the world a lot. Season 2 like kind of starts going into it, and season 3 does a lot more.
I could see me liking some of that later stuff, but it's definitely something that I'm just not too crazy about doing anytime, especially with like long backlogs I'm doing. I'm starting to get more into watching like seasonals when they actually air instead of like looking back at like stuff in the past year and being like, oh, there's all this cool stuff I missed.
It's a big commitment for sure. Like, it's not like you can just bang out all 3 seasons like one room.
Mm-hmm. And then I don't want to talk about it, but Rent a Girlfriend has a season 2.
Yo,
It
Oh.
certainly
I hated the first
has
episode so much.
certainly has a season 2.
Certainly
I
has
hated
season 2. Also, Shadow's House. I
Yeah.
didn't know Shadow's House was getting a second season already.
It got confirmed not too long after season 1, but I really like Shadow's House season 1, so
I
I'll
knew that
consider watching
season
it.
2 was coming out. I guess I just didn't realize it was summer.
Yeah, it's not like a too like animation like intensive show. It's more like art style and stuff. So yeah, I'd say like I was gonna read the manga for it, and it's like about a couple days before I decided I would start reading it. Like the season 2 got announced. I'm like, well,
They did the
I
announcement, so you're
guess
just like, oh,
I guess
I'll
I'll
just
just
hold
wait.
on.
But yeah, it's an interesting show. It has a
I feel like the main character was
banger
like your
ED.
profile pic.
No, I've never had
Okay.
a
I don't
Shadow's
think
House
so.
profile picture. No,
I don't know. It's-
I don't think anyone from Shadow's House is like profile picture like material. I guess is the best
okay,
way to put
gotcha. Understood.
it. Yeah.
I
Makes
think
sense.
that's all the major season 2s. Orient's getting a second core, but
Yeah, they'll just like Rent a Girlfriend. We will not be talking about that one.
yeah.
Yeah, I hate that show now.
So then
I know. Now?
New stuff.
Now, always.
I get new stuff, and there's not really much to say about it because the episode hasn't come out. But I think like the general consensus is that the thing people are most excited for right now is Call of the Night.
Sure. I don't
In
know.
terms
I
of like
haven't.
the new
Oh, that
stuff.
one. Talk about.
I don't know if
Yeah,
I've
the
seen like
vampire
too much about it. I know it exists, and that I didn't add it to my list.
I don't plan on adding it to my list either, but I know that one, it's ranked 6 in popularity
Yeah,
on any list behind only the continuing shows.
yeah,
Also, like a lot of our friend group have been talking about wanting to watch it a lot. So I couldn't tell you how or why it's so popular because none of us are particularly crazy into it, but I know that it is for some
Yeah.
reason really
I don't know.
yeah, it's like something people are really excited about.
Yeah. I couldn't tell you.
I don't even know if I'll watch it, unfortunately. So
It's I don't know. I don't know if I care
Vampire
for like.
plotlines are very hit or miss for me.
I don't know if
There's
I care
definitely
for
some that
the
I've liked.
art style. Maybe is definitely part of it. I feel.
I feel like
I don't know.
some art I look at for it, and I'm like, this looks pretty good, and then other art I look at, like the trailer that came out a while ago, and I'm just like, it just has weird moments that I'm not too into.
And it's like the studio that does it. They're not like. It's not anything I'm like jumping to
Linden,
watch
right?
it. It's the
Yeah.
Linden Films. It's the Tokyo Revengers studio, which is like, I don't know. It's very like 7 out of 10 animation studio. It's the best way I can put it.
Interesting
Yeah,
description.
they did-
It'll get done and it'll be okay, but it also probably won't blow you away.
It'll be
very many points.
Mid.
like painfully watchable. I guess is the best way to put it.
Oh, that is
They did
interesting.
a show called Urusakai Picnic, which I've watched 2 episodes of. I need to finish it eventually. But the CGI in that was like horrendous. So I just, you'd hope that they don't use CGI at any point in Call of the Night, I guess. But yeah, no, I don't have too much to say about it. I don't know anything about it other than vampires.
Vampires, and a lot of people want to watch it.
Something I have watched, though, I think all of us said we watched it, was the first episode of Licorice Recoil.
Yeah,
Which,
I don't know.
and if people have not watched it, I would say go into it blind. Because I didn't look, I didn't look at trailers or anything for it. I just knew that the title sounded cool, and so I'm going to watch it whenever it first got announced. And so I, all the way up until
Another
episode
thing
1.
that's interesting about the Chris 2 is this is anime original, right?
Yeah, it's anime original, I think, from A1. Let's see. Okay.
Yeah, it is from A1.
Yeah, A1 Studios, which they're also doing another seasonal. We'll get to that after probably Licorice. But I thought it had a very interesting episode 1. I think there's a lot of potential. I had to I was eating lunch or whatever, and I was picking up my food, and once again spoilers, but all of a sudden these girls on the street just started fucking shooting people. I'm like, wait, hold on. I had to put down the food and wait, what the fuck is happening? Because it's not like it's a full shootout or anything. They're whipping out a silenced pistol, killing a dude, and going back to their day. I'm like, what the fuck? But
I think I haven't watched a lot of the stuff that's come out so far, but I think of the couple seasons I've watched, this is the one that I felt I enjoyed the most. Of the three episode ones that I watched for new stuff. But yeah, I went into it blind also. I didn't really know what it was. I just kind of was watching episode 1 of Teppen, which we'll talk about later, and Daniel was talking about him watching episode 1 of Licorice Recoil, and I was like, okay, guess I'll have to try that one out.
Yeah, I think should have blown up.
I don't know. That show's weird.
What's
It's unique. It's
What's
unique.
weird? What do you find weird about Looker's Recoil?
I don't know. I guess it's like the first few minutes. Like the rest of the episode was fine. It was just like
I thought it
I
was.
don't know, I guess it's just the contrast.
hook.
It's just like the cute girls, and then the first scene was like crazy.
Yeah. I really like the ED, and the OP sounds decent from like the small bit that I've heard from like
the ED
promotional
was
stuff.
good. I haven't heard any of the OP. I don't think, unless it shows up randomly in the episode.
No, there's a 30-second like ad basically for the show that like plays a little bit of the OP. It's
gotcha.
It's a Claris OP.
Oh, let's go!
So,
I love me some Claris.
But speaking of A1, another anime original, which was Engage Kiss, which is the current.
We also watched.
Yeah. Wait, no, hold on.
Yes, I watched.
Is this original? I think it is. I think
it is original.
Yeah,
so the manga came out with the same day. Yeah,
because I saw adaptation. The manga itself is an adaptation, not a source.
It was releasing.
I like tricked myself. I'm like, what the fuck? I know this was original. What happened? But yeah, from A1 again. A1's a good studio, so I didn't expect the animation to be bad or anything, and I like the art for it. I don't know. We'll see what the story goes with, but
from episode 1, I can't tell if it's going to be like quote good, but episode 1 was interesting enough that I am going to keep watching it for a bit.
I think it'll be entertaining at the worst.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it.
But
the two main
I'll probably still keep watching a couple
are
episodes.
like kind of fun. I think the biggest weakness I had in episode 1 is I don't think you're supposed to like him, but I just didn't care for the MC at all.
I think we'll get like more of his backstory eventually, but he seems kind of like, I don't know, shrewd.
In episode 1, he kind of, to not pull back much, he kind of just felt like a deadbeat. He didn't really do anything for anyone at any point in the episode that he needed to be doing.
Yep.
Yeah, he seems like I don't know, like a self-insert for someone, but it's not like an author actually. Well, I don't know who wrote it, but
yeah,
it's not like one single author like sat down and like wrote something to release. Like usually like manga and light novels start off like that, they're like author inserts, but this is an anime original, so you'd want to, I don't know. I guess it's
I guess the thing I would say, the trade-off for him feeling kind of bland right now and getting his development later is probably the fact that we have like a pretty good understanding of the world to some degree. We don't exactly know the details in Engage Kiss, but we understand like what's going on in like a skeleton format.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to see like what more information I get, because I feel like I need it. Otherwise, I'm going to be lost.
I definitely need episode 2 or episode 3 to be a little bit of an exposition dump, so I can know a little more about how we got to the point that we're in.
Yeah,
for sure. We got like some hints about it, like his dad's probably involved, or like was anyway. But
and like him having like used to work at the one company and everything, and now just being like, nope, I just gonna do my own shit now.
Yeah. Just moving on from that, something I know a little bit about, and by a little bit I mean like everything about, is when will Ayumu make his move, which is so you know Takagi, the forehead girl.
Yes.
It's from the same authors that, so like similar character designs. I suppose I can link it since I'm the only one here watching it. But I've read I'm reading the manga for it. It's like 150 something in right now, I think. Maybe in the 60s, I can't remember. But it's cute. It's just like a shogi romantic comedy, I guess, is the only way I can explain it. There's not like too much happening.
Gotcha.
It's a fun
It's
enough
definitely
read.
something I've eyed at points, and then talked and looked into
this
it,
one
kind of got the same sense as what you're saying, which is like it's cute, not a ton happens.
It's like the typical rom-com where like you're going through all these chapters, it's gonna be like 300 before we get any level of anything. But it's a fun read. It's not like long chapters either, so it's like the weekly digest, I guess.
Mhm. I do think it definitely seems like something that if I were to consume it at some point, whether it's reading or watching, I would kind of want to be able to binge it, which is probably the main reason that I don't really plan on watching it this season.
Yeah, I feel like it's an easy like binge read. I feel like it'd be hard to binge watch, which I found with Takagi season 3. I had to like binge a bit of it because I fell behind, but it's not like always the same thing every episode. Like Takagi is like very formulaic, and so it's hard to. It has great moments, obviously, but otherwise it follows a formula. Doesn't really move from that. And this one's like kind of the
It's
same.
like trying to watch like a Yu-Gi-Oh or a Pokemon. It's you kind of know what you're gonna get out of every episode, regardless of how the circumstances have changed.
Takagi, you know, she's gonna tease Nishikata, Pokemon Team Rocket will show up, get their ass beat, and fly away. And then in Ayumu, it's like they play shogi and have like the typical romantic comedy moments. But it's cute, and I'll be watching it. Let's see, Peak Fiction with
God, what does that mean?
Peak fiction. Yep.
My stepmom's daughter is my ex.
Oh, okay.
So
Yes.
I have read the synopsis on this a little bit. I need to see episode 1 before I know what
I haven't read the synopsis, but I feel like the title itself kind of gets that done.
Title itself does get it done. As much as the synopsis does, I will say.
Yeah.
It sounds like it could. It like I like the animation style a lot. Also, I don't really know why.
Yeah, it's Project 9. They've done a few other anime recently. I really like. They have like a very distinct art style that they use. They
did Love After World Domination.
Yeah, they did that. They did the Tomozaki anime, and they also did Higehiro. And they're gonna do the Angel Next Door anime as well. So I generally like what they do, because like you can like tell when it's them, but it's not like they don't like overstep any boundaries.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it sounds like there's a world where I watch this and it is like extremely cute and I love it. And then there's also a world where I watch episode 1 or episode 2 and I'm like, it's too much for me. And then just, don't continue the series.
I'll probably watch it, but I'm skeptical. I don't know. I'm always skeptical of these like rom-coms.
I mean, I'm sure it won't like reinvent anything. It's just gonna be like one of those quirky like pseudo incest.
Domestic Girlfriend reinvented the wheel, bro. You don't get it.
It was certainly out of all the weird romantic, shows. It definitely set the bar pretty high. This one,
it set the bar. I don't know about high, but it set the bar.
It's at the bar. This one is like
it's at a bar.
It's kind of the same thing. It's just like remove the teacher from the what's it called though?
True. Instead of a love triangle, it's just two people. Yeah, that is true.
Well,
it probably won't end up being just 2 people.
Got to self-insert, right? Got to self-insert and have 5 people, 5 women. Yep, that makes sense.
That's what I like about Angel Next Door. It's just like 2 people. There's no bullshit. No like drama. It's just cute. It's a romance. It's there. You watch it. You're happy.
Angel Next Door.
Yeah, it's gonna be in 2023.
Oh, this one. This one's like your profile picture.
Yeah, I've used it.
It's gonna be an
anime.
It's gonna be an anime.
It was literally.
It has been my profile picture multiple times.
Yes.
But
nice.
But yeah, no, it got anime for 2023 by the same studio, and I'm very excited for it.
Based.
But we're talking about this season, and so let's see what else.
There's also some like fun like movies and OVAs and stuff coming out this season. Which most of them we won't be able to see this season, surely.
Yeah, I have 2
One Piece movie.
OVAs.
I will not be able to watch until like October. Dr. Stone episode OVA, whatever the Dr.
It's going to be an hour-long special.
Yeah. But that we'll probably see pretty soon. There's the Eurocamp movie.
It releases.
There's another Bandori project. that's going to be like 2 short episodes.
Let's see.
There's a D4 DJ project that's going to be an episode.
Where's the Doctor Stone?
Something else that. Oh yeah, there's the Sarune movie too. With Sarune is
the Archer one, right?
Yeah, that's the archery anime that I watch. Honestly, as I wouldn't call it a gateway to sports anime because they're very different. But I think Sarune and Run with the Wind are like 2 of the sports anime I would most have on my list that I would recommend to like non-sports anime watchers. And I'd be like, I know that it's not your genre, but these 2 are very good at like the non-sports stuff too.
Yeah.
While not overwhelming you with like adrenaline pumping sports gameplay.
The Dr. Stone OVA is in 5 days, it would seem. And then other OVAs, there's an Ari Furuta OVA. It's going to be at the tail end of summer. It's like 40 minutes. Not like particularly excited for it or anything, but it exists.
But it'll happen, yeah.
And then also at the tail end of summer is Tonikaku Kawaii has a special episode. So that'll be something I watch.
Oh, I forgot about the Tonikaku one. My Hero Academia has some OVAs, but I don't think any of us keep up with My Hero anymore.
I read the manga begrudgingly every week, and that's about it.
I will binge the rest of the manga once it's finished, probably, just so I am done with it. But
what if it never finishes?
It's like last arc. It's on its last leg right now, basically.
Oh, really? Okay,
yeah.
fair enough then.
I
thought it was like One Piece.
The only character I care about at this point is like Endeavor, and he's like, I don't know, kind of like been there, done that with his character. So I at this point, I have nothing to read for really.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Anyway, there's some. Oh, right. New anime was not new. Something that is technically not new would be the Ruby adaptation.
Yeah.
So
when's the next episode coming out?
We're gonna have to wait a while for that because technically,
God, cringe.
They release like the 3 at once, right? So we gotta wait a little bit before we get any more of that. But the first 3 episodes, I don't care for much for Ruby. And it's like the writing isn't like incredible or anything, but the animation's really good. And so,
dude,
I don't know anything about Ruby, so I haven't touched this because I assume it's not. It's like if I don't know anything about Ruby, I assume I would be confused.
I don't know anything about it, and I watched it.
You don't know. So what it does, it starts from the very beginning of everything.
Okay.
It kind of like speedruns it a little bit because it's gonna do new stuff instead of like going from season 1 to 2.
So okay, so this would be like watching how like Full Metal Alchemist goes, where like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood starts off kind of speedrunning the arcs that happened in the original Full Metal Alchemist.
So Ruby is like a weird. So the original Ruby is like a 3D animation or whatever, and so the first volume or season or whatever is a lot of like short episodes, and so they kind of like scrunch all those together in 3 episodes, and they get like the important stuff down, and they kind of like skip over like the small things while also interweaving like their own plot that they're setting up. I don't like at this point. I don't know where it's gonna go because it's introduced something like entirely new. But the first 3 episodes had a lot of great animation. So even though I don't really care for Ruby like an incredible amount, I'd say if you want a monkey watch, it's something worth, or even just watching the clips. Because it's animated by Shaft, which I don't know how Ruby got Shaft to do anything for them.
That feels like a...
What are they animate?
So Shaft, they did the entirety of the Monogatari.
Okay.
They have done...
They did Madoka too, right?
Yeah, they made...
Or like a lot of the Madoka.
They did,
I don't know if they did all
Madoka
of it.
Magica, yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Yeah, got it.
They did Assault Lily Bouquet, apparently. I don't know who the fuck. Like,
Yo, that's your favorite anime.
I don't know whose pee-pee had to get sucked to get that to work, but they did that, apparently. They did...
Isekoi.
March Comes in Like a Lion.
Dude, that show was ugly. What the heck?
Hey, don't let Riches hear you say that.
I think it looks fine.
I don't know, the art
I
style
think
is just
you, I
weird.
think you just don't like the way the characters look.
Yes, that's exactly why. Okay, maybe I know the animation versus the art style are two different things. Okay, you know what? Fine, fair enough. Fair enough.
But it's a very like well respected studio. Is basically all that needs to be said, and they did quite the job in like the first 3 episodes or whatever of that. So.
Yeah. Dude, I could never watch the original Ruby. You know what? Like the original, like the animation, like the 3D animation reminds me of. Have you guys ever played like those like GameCube, like 3D GameCube games from like that generation? That's like the graphics they remind me of.
Yeah.
It's just like cannot get that out of my
makes
head.
sense.
I
Yeah.
cannot get that out of yeah.
Like the
But
it's like a
I mean, I don't
slightly
know.
improved version
Yeah.
of like Battle for Bikini Bottom from the
Yes,
GameCube
yes,
era.
exactly. Exactly.
The greatest game on the GameCube.
It's like generally well
True.
it's like generally well done
Okay,
3D, but it's
truers.
like it's so corny to watch because like there's only so much you can do with 3D. And this is why like 2D animation is like so good, especially when it's done cleanly. Like
Yep.
everything just looks so clunky with Ruby. It's like slapstick is the only way I can put it. But the anime adaptation is like really fucking good. I like the character designs that they did as well,
Yes.
or the way that they changed them up a bit.
I love the characters. I love Ruby, even though I don't love it. Like I don't know. It's just good art style.
You have
good
no
animation.
actual connection to it, but
Yes, I literally don't care about the like story, but I love it anyway.
It's a good monkey watch, I think.
Yes, it's monkey.
It's
I
very
don't even care about the
Monkey,
fight.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So I
Trying to
guess
think what
that
else I-
covers a lot of the stuff that people would know. But Daniel and I, for sure, I don't know if Spat has anything crazy he's planning on watching, but Daniel and I definitely have some stuff that we're planning on watching that's like
Okay, name them.
not super well known or like talked about.
Anything.
Mainly, both of us are planning to watch the Parallel World Pharmacy.
Oh yeah, of course I'm watching that, bro. That's healthcare, dude. I'm an American. Well, why wouldn't I watch that?
Yeah, of course. Well, we
Yeah,
don't
you're
have
gonna
healthcare,
you're gonna
so
be a
that's why.
doctor.
We don't have
You-
that.
you
Yeah,
gotta-
exactly. I need.
You
Yeah,
gotta know
it's
what
like a
you gotta
foreign
do
concept.
when you get murdered and you go to another world. You gotta know how to set up your pharmacy.
That's probably the one that I see basically no one talking about, except for like a few in our friend group.
I mean, I can't imagine why anyone would talk about it, but
You're right, but it looks cute.
it's kind of like a been there, done
Has
that thing.
something of an interesting premise to it. It is a little bit of a been there, done
Oh
that.
my god, it's the same studio as Diamond.
Is it
Diamond.
really?
Oh my god, it's the same studio as Domestic Girlfriend. What the fuck?
Oh,
Wait, those are.
That's
that
like
is
two.
very
It's
different.
like two
thing.
sides of the
It's-
coin.
It's also the same studio as Ahiro no Sora. If we want to make it a triangle of like very different things.
Yeah, I mean, certainly something, I suppose. But I don't know. I liked Diamond's art style, and I'm hopefully. I don't think they'll do the same for this pharmacy because like Diamond had like painted backgrounds, with like it was like kind of looked like water painting, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm completely wrong with that. I don't know, but I liked
Sounds
it.
interesting. Yeah.
Similar to Sukiyaki, right? But I'm the only one who's watched that, so that falls on deaf ears, I suppose. But I don't, because we had a drugstore isekai already,
Mm-hmm.
but this one isn't drugstore. This is pharmacy, so it's totally
It's
different.
What's the
pharmacy,
drugstore
which are very,
isekai?
very different.
Yeah, it's completely different. I feel like there's definitely other shit on my watch.
I mean, there's
list.
Prima Doll, which
Oh,
you're
Prima
watching,
Doll,
but
right.
I'm not
wait,
planning
what's
to.
the drugstore isekai?
It's a same thing. Dude gets isekai, then he makes a
Yeah.
Wait,
drugstore.
what's the name? What's the name?
It's literally drugstore, drugstore in another.
What the
world.
heck? No way.
Yeah, I think it is drugstore in another world.
Yeah, drugstore in another world. The slow life of a cheat pharmacist.
Okay, dude. What the heck?
There's
Fair
also a
enough.
new Love Live, Daniel, but I assume you don't want to talk too much about new Love Live.
Fuck Love Live. There's too many of them, dude. There's always a new one. How did they make so many of
Dude,
them?
how many
second
loves?
season
How many
of
lives can you love,
Superstar.
dude?
How many
Which
loves
is-
can
How many
I
lives
guess
can you love?
like the newest Love Live group is how I would describe them. But it's introducing a bunch of new characters and stuff to it.
Classic. More voices. I won't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't know how excited I am about it, but Love Live is fun, and so I will be watching it.
Yeah, you mentioned Primadol, which is it's from Key, which generally I like what Key does. They did Clannad, of course. They did.
Right.
They
That's why I'm not watching
did an
Prima Doll.
okay. They were like the writers of Angel Beats, basically.
They did Little Busters.
Yeah, they did Little Busters. They did Count On. It's they do a lot of stuff that a lot of people generally like. And so this is an anime original, though, I believe. I don't think there's any source material behind this. But it seemed cute. It looks like, it kind of reminds me of Gochuucast. They're going to work in a cafe, and it's like the cute girls do cute things, I would assume. But
I'm interested from reading the synopsis how much, like, the stuff it talks about in the synopsis is going to end up mattering.
I would imagine, like, character-wise, it'll matter. I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, because the first episode technically came out, but it also didn't. So it premiered 5 days on like some it streamed on some fucking thing 5 days ahead of the TV broadcast.
Okay, bootleg.
So I don't.
So it is out, but it is not accessible.
It's out,
to
but
you right now.
But my alternative viewing sites do not have the episode.
Your alternative viewing sites, very very diplomatic.
I gotta cover my bases, just like my
alternative
Nintendo Switch that I played Legends Arceus on, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, dude.
What?
The other totally thing, this I mentioned it earlier, but this has had an episode 1 is Teppen. Which Teppen?
Yeah, what is Teppen?
Is a Bushiroad anime, which means something to a few people, but basically, yes, exactly. Basically, it's all that means in like easy terms is that all of the VAs and a lot of the people working on it are people who are associated with like the Bandori franchise and like all of those like games and everything. So if I go through the VA list, anyone who has played like the Bandoris, the D4 DJs, all of that type of stuff, you're probably going to know a lot of these VAs. But Teppen itself is not like an idol or a music anime or anything like that. It is a comedy, like comedians anime, and follows just like a bunch of girls who are trying to be like the best comedians in the country. Basically,
interesting.
In particular, they're all in the trios division for this like big comedy competition, and it follows 5 different trio groups, so 15 girls total, and they all have like their own quirks and everything. There's only been 1 episode out yet so far, so most of these I have seen and gotten like a little bit of a like 2-minute clip on like what their quirks are going to be, but I don't really know much about the 4 groups outside of the main trio so far, or at least what feels like the main trio.
Yeah. Something that's coming out in 9 hours apparently. Isekai Uncle, the art looks terrifying. Like the poster for it, I will absolutely not be watching that.
I feel like
let me take a fucking.
This is like a cool like picture
manga
if
art.
It wasn't like, oh, by the way, we will be animating this.
Like, dude, look at that character design, and then
I hate that. Sorry, I hate that.
Hold on, yeah, let me show you the poster.
Can't.
Dude, the poster's terrifying. Like, absolutely, like nightmare fuel. Like this dude is a main character. How am I supposed to watch this shit?
It's by Kadokawa.
That's the publisher. The
that's publisher.
Studio.
Wrong thing.
Let's see. They did. Oh, okay.
Studio. It's Atelier.
They've only done one other thing, and it was Ganbare Doki-chan, which is like the lowest effort level of animation. So this one's gonna be pretty hit or miss, I would assume. Yeah, Doki-chan is just like one of those kind of like how we watched One Room or whatever, but this is like even lower effort. So like they have like male characters, but they don't put eyes on them because it costs too much. Yeah, similar to like Tawa on a Monday would be a more similar or more accurate, I suppose. It's very weird. So I don't know exactly how they're going to translate their experience making 12 6-minute episodes into a full anime, but they definitely like picked
They
a
are
very
going to
they
be
picked like a
doing
very
it.
low fruit to like experiment with, I guess. Like if you fuck up Isekai Uncle, no one's really going to care that much. So I suppose it's if you're gonna animate anything for the first time, it should be a shitty isekai. I don't care how good anyone says it's gonna be. If anyone does end up saying that, I will not watch it as it looks terrifying.
I'm not watching that. I'm sorry.
I don't. In this season, where I don't know how many of these things that I plan on watching I'll actually like stick to, but in the season where I'm already kind of planning more things than I probably should to watch, I don't have very much interest in this one.
Wait, are you guys gonna watch this made anime? Made anime?
I've
What is
seen
this?
I've seen the poster for it. It's
The maid
Yeah.
I hired recently is mysterious.
yeah.
Ah, yes, mysterious. I don't know if I'll watch it.
Seems like it could.
Seems like a booba anime.
It definitely seems like here's a tan anime girl. Please come watch our thing.
Please watch me.
Please come.
Please come. I mean, maybe it's a collaboration between Blade and Silver Link. I know Silver Link has done okay. Blade did their sports collabing thing. They haven't really done anything else of worth. If even that's even of anything of worth, but and then like the greatest Demon Lord is Reborn as a nobody from last season, and then Silver Link work with them on that. But Silver Link, they did like Assassin Isekai. They do a lot of Isekai. Holy shit. Okay. Oh, they did Bofuri. That is Silver Link. They did Bofuri.
That's an isekai.
That's not an
That's
Isekai.
indeed. It's not.
It's a game. It's just a game. It's just a game.
Okay,
Literally
I'm not.
just
Okay,
playing a
I get it.
game.
I get it.
Um,
Understood.
Anyway,
it's another thing that I keep seeing as I like scroll through these, and I don't know anything about it. It has like this nice art, and the synopsis sounds interesting, but it's Drifting Home,
Drifting Home.
which is a Netflix O&A that is coming out sometime in like October, September, like
see.
mid-September.
Bro, it's like I'm not watching this. I'm sorry. Maybe if the premise becomes, I don't know, just
Okay, so
dude,
it's
that's
Isekai.
like too many middle schoolers, bro. Too many middle
Yeah,
schoolers.
it says, yeah. I mean, if the story's good, I'm fine with them being middle schoolers. Like, I don't need.
Wait, is that Squirtle?
That does look like Squirtle.
Bro,
It's not like too much to work with, I guess.
bro,
Yeah,
Squirtle.
I don't know much about it. Like, I'm
This-
not advocating or anything like that, but I keep, whenever I see the art to this or anything, I just keep thinking, like, that looks interesting. Maybe I'll try
Yeah.
it.
The studio hasn't
It's
done
only
a
an
whole
O&A,
lot.
so it's not like it's a huge commitment. But yeah, it's
It's a one episode O&A thing. Like they did I recognize a few things on here. Like I watched Star Wars Visions, which was fine.
Twilight Wings.
The thing with like Star Wars Visions, what episodes did they do for it is my question, because there's like levels to Star Wars Visions. There's they did episode 2. That's tough. That was easily the worst episode. That was so shit. Okay, so yeah, the studio did the worst episode easily of Star Wars Visions. Let's see, they did
Twilight Wings, the Pokemon special.
they did a Whisker Away, which is a
was
Netflix
pretty
movie
nice.
that I didn't watch. I think I was going to, but then I got spoiled for it, and I'm like, whatever, fuck this. And then Burn the Witch, which was pretty popular when it came out, but is this? I can't remember what this was like. Oh, Bleach. Okay, yeah, I don't know anything about Bleach, so I didn't watch Burn the Witch. They have like a very limited whatever, so I don't think I'll be watching their 40-minute OVA or however long it's
Burn
going
the
to be.
Witch based off Bleach?
It's like Bleach is
connected?
the parent for it, apparently, so Apparently.
I didn't know that. I've never watched Burn the Witch. I don't watch Bleach
It's like
either.
a 3
but
episode ordeal or movie. I don't know. 3 episodes probably, I think.
I
don't
see.
know.
I see.
I feel like there's something else I wanted to talk about. Oh, okay. So another Linden Films. It looks like a Cute Girls Do Cute Things, but the ReZero. Like when I looked at it, I'm like, why do I feel like I've seen this before? It's the ReZero artist for the light novel. He did do the things, but I read the thing and it's like, I feel like Prima Doll is already gonna be like my Cute Girls Do Cute Things. Like not a lot of plot. Same with like the pharmacy, so I just didn't add it to the list.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure how much I'm into Cute Girls Do Cute Things. The more I think about it, I feel
It's like hit or miss. Like I
yeah, I
think
don't know.
that you have to be interested in what it is they're doing to some
Yeah.
degree.
The premise, the actual premise.
Like it's hard to watch every Cute Girls Do Cute Things anime, in my opinion. But if they're like cute girls making a video game, right, being like new game, it's
New-
like okay, that's something I can get behind.
Yeah, I
At
couldn't
least
tell
have
you
like some form of interest in.
why I care for Gochumon. I feel like they do well with what they have, I guess.
I agree. I don't have like a particularly good reason for
I'm not like big.
why I enjoy Gochumon.
I don't even drink coffee.
It's just, yeah, it's Cute Girls Do Cute Things at the cafe, and they do it well enough that even though I don't have a big connection to cafes, coffee, or tea or anything like that, I'm still interested.
Yeah. I hope that gets another season. That's something we need in our life.
I think
I need
the
more.
last thing that I am interested in, which is going to be anime of the year, of course, is Extreme Hearts.
What is this?
Which Extreme Hearts is what I think of as the love child of idol anime and sports anime.
I've seen the poster for this. I'm not
There's a
looking
lot of us are
forward
going
to
to be
hearing
watching
it
this,
name Q.
but this is like the type of anime that I see the genres, I see the synopsis, and I'm like, it does not matter if this is good or bad. I'm just going to have to watch it because I love idol anime and I like sports anime.
This gives me like Alcana vibes, except for like the uniforms. Alcana was more horny. This one's more idle.
What's also interesting though is when you read the synopsis and everything, they don't play like normal sports. They're
play
like
hyper
super sports. Yeah. So like when you watch the trailer or like the PV and you get to the second half of it and they show them some of the sports gameplay, they have like these like the normal sports balls that we'd be used to, but they will like glow and be like super powered and stuff. So you see like the girl who plays baseball like throw a pitch with this orange and white baseball, and then it just becomes like this super pitch.
Yeah, I can hardly get into, like normal sports anime. I don't think I could take a fake sport. Like I watched Alcana. Fake sports are just like, okay, this is happening. I don't know if I really care about the game that's happening.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely something that I do not think I could ever recommend to anyone, no matter how much I enjoy it. But this is like created for me, or at least like that's how it feels when I see it.
Yeah, speaking of sports, I don't even know if I mentioned this earlier, but Awashi is continuing into this season, of course.
Yeah.
I will say what makes Awashi more watchable than like, I guess the typical sports, because I don't focus on the games too much, at least not like right now. It's more like the technical side of things, and the characters, which makes for a more interesting show. Because like, I don't know, I haven't watched really many other sports anime, but when they focus on the game, it feels like so low stakes because there's like levels of writing behind this. Like, eventually, I know at some point in Awashi, they're gonna get their ass like pushed in and like lose the game, and it's gonna cause a bunch of drama. I know that's gonna happen, and there's not like maybe I don't know which game it'll happen, but it'll probably become obvious at that point. And so I get
the
like
nice thing
detached
about
from
it,
the game at some point.
Yeah. The nice thing about it too is a lot of sports anime are formatted in like the interhigh system that you see in a lot of like Japanese sports. I don't know how much that's still used or if that's like an older system or anything, but it's basically the idea is a lot of Japanese sports in animes have basically 2 or 3 single elimination tournaments to decide the champion, right?
Yeah.
So the teams will spend all this time practicing and getting ready, and then enter a giant, like, thousands of teams wide single elimination tournament that starts with like nationals and regionals and all that type of stuff. Or like not nationals, but you get what I'm saying. It'll start with like your area and then get bigger and bigger as like normal sports do.
Yeah.
But or at least sports systems that we would be used to. But the difference is if you lose a single game in a lot of those sports, you're just done. You've lost whatever season it is you're in. So the stakes are almost too high in a lot of other sports anime, but Awashi takes place in like a more traditional like, European soccer system. So it's they are allowed to lose games or tie games during the season because there is a full regular season for the team.
Yeah, it's not like even the stakes that I like that are meta. Well, obviously there needs to be stakes. It's more just like I know that there's writing behind these games, and so I feel less interested in the games than I am like the technical aspect of like the practices and like the characters and such. I will say though that they get really annoying with the technical aspects because they're like, oh, they got to figure it out for themselves. Which like on a level I understand, but at some point you just be like, okay.
At some point, someone has to say something.
Somebody has to do something. Like you, like so for high school, I had a class. It was like a community service thing, and they like stuck me in a preschool. And one time, these like two kids started to fight, and I was about to go over there, and obviously, like I don't want to see them like start like beating the shit out of each other. But then one of the teachers stopped me, and it's like, it's good for like their development to like figure this out on their own. I understand that, but this is different. This is the big boy leagues. We're playing like big boy soccer. You gotta like do your fucking job and coach. Like you see this kid with a bunch of potential. Just tell him what the fuck he's doing wrong. Obviously, like it helps to like learn on his own. Like maybe that helps him. Like once he figures this out, everything comes like naturally. But you can help him figure it out. It's not like
I think the other issue there is like you don't see the practices and stuff like that, right?
You don't see all the practices,
especially at this point in the series. So it's like the way that the anime is paced, it's shown, and even the manga to some extent was in the similar. It feels like to episode 13, where the show is currently at, you really haven't seen the coaches do anything in terms of coaching.
Yeah, it's not even just that. It's like the players too. Like the one coach was like, figure out why you made them mad. Think about it. Just go fucking ask them. And he doesn't do that. He's just like, all right, assholes, why you like you're mad? But
to
like,
be fair,
I'm
he kind of tries to figure out why they're mad.
He's like, kind of, but then
he's like
kind
a
of
weird, like him also trying to like prove what his point was.
He's trying to gas himself up when he sucks, like at the technical aspect of everything.
Yeah.
And then they get mad at him for that too. It's like, I don't know. It's really annoying.
I will say Awashi I am completely caught up on the manga. All of the translations I've seen. Also, a lot of the non-translated chapters had gotten like scuffed translations of them, but of the sports series that I have read or watched, it is by far the most technical based one. Which can be a positive or a negative for a lot of people.
The characters to like get over themselves and like hash things out. Everyone's also like everyone is a huge dick for the most part, especially like the older guys. Like I understand like there's gonna be like a dick every now and then, but everyone's just a huge
to be
asshole.
fair, you've only met like one or two of the older guys, and they are specifically the ones who are dicks.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure at some point they won't be assholes, or like it'll be one of those moments like, aha, I bet you feel bad that you hated him because he's actually a 2-time orphan or something like that. I don't know, but
I haven't seen a sports anime, so I don't know. I just don't have anything to relate to this. I should try.
Awashi is probably my favorite sports series aside from Haikyuu, and it's pretty likely that if it has a good ending, it will just pass Haikyuu for me. But I think it's hard with how good Haikyuu was, the fact that Haikyuu's finished, and the fact that I consider the last arc of Haikyuu to probably be the best arc in sports. The period. It's hard for me to be like, even though I think I enjoy Awashi overall more, I just don't think I can put it above Haikyuu yet.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, it's
I
like
know a lot of people love Haikyuu, so there's that.
it's on some level like technically my first sports. Like I had Grand Blue, which is like the fakest sports tag of all time.
Okay, dude.
That's a drinking anime.
That is
And then
100% a drinking anime.
Alcana is technically sports, but it's fake sport, and so it's not really sports. And then Slow Loop technically is a sports tag, but like it's just cute girls do cute things, but I like fish a lot, and that's about it. So Awashi is like the first real sports experience, I suppose. I think it was a good one to start with because it's more technical than focused on the games, at least for now.
I think it's also good because, like, if you wanted to watch more sports stuff and you do, like, here's what I enjoyed about Awashi, or here's what I wanted more of, you can kind of go in any direction. It's kind of like a very central sports anime to me in terms of, like, where it lies in comparison to other ones.
Yeah. I don't think I have anything else to add unless anyone has like some hidden folder of obscure shit to talk about.
No, I feel
I'm
like
probably
I'm
gonna watch Shine Post, which is just another idol anime. But I don't have anything to say about Shine Post. Like, it just looks nice. I hope the music's good.
I see. But
I haven't seen. Yeah.
I can't say I have anything else to add to this here discussion.
No,
Yeah, I think that's everything I see.
My conclusion is I'm really enjoying the episodes I've seen so far, so I'm looking forward to seeing some more from the animes I've seen.
How many episodes do you think it'll take for you to drop half of them?
2.
2.
I think that's the good amount.
You'll come.
Listen,
the 3-episode rule.
Listen, I got through 4 episodes. That's 4 more than I usually get through. So,
I think my conclusion is Licorice Recoil for me feels like it might be my sleeper pick for top anime of the season.
I don't know what
which
would be
is
my
a
top.
bold statement, but just off everything I've seen, everything I know about like what's going to be happening with it, and like staying away from the ones that feel more obvious because it's a sleeper pick, right? I'm not going to say Classroom of the Elite's my sleeper pick to be the best because I think it's probably the favorite.
I don't know
But
about
I think
that.
episode 1 of Liquor, not like the favorite, but like in the conversation.
Because even like anime only people who like don't care like about the light novels problems have issues, especially with the first episode. So like I said earlier,
That's true.
it's like confusing for no good reason because they have to like speed run the explanation, I guess. But Licorice Recoil definitely has a chance, I feel like, to take the top spot for the season. Summertime Render
I think episode
is
1 was very
continuing.
promising. Summertime Rendering is still going on.
Yeah,
Awachi are still going on. I think both of those were very good last season and will continue to be very good this season.
Yeah, and then Made in Abyss, I obviously I still thought to watch it, and so it's probably like it might just be like the favorite probably for like to hit the tippy top of like fiction peak, but in terms of stuff I know about some level of quality, it could be either Licorice or Summertime probably for this season.
It also depends on if you want to have Summertime potentially be the top of 2 seasons, because there's a decent argument that Summertime Render First Core was the best last season anime.
maybe. I don't know. I haven't seen it, so
I think
I don't necessarily know. I haven't chosen one, but there's a decent argument for it.
I have a video in place for my personal channel that I do go over that. I will say it didn't hit the top spot because I think that I need to see.
I think that the
how
finale
it goes
for
forward.
Kaguya is like very well done, and Spy X Family is.
I thought
also
Kaguya
like a
was
really
definitely
good season 1.
the best from
Yeah.
last season. But
So I'm not going to say it is, but I think Summertime Rendering is up there.
it's definitely up
now I
there
have
with.
to finish Summertime Rendering, man.
I don't think you'll drop it. You seem like the kind of
Yeah,
person who
dude,
would get.
I like the mystery. I
entrapped
like
by
the
it.
mystery.
I think you'll just kind of watch it
cliffhangers a lot
slowly.
as well. So
Yep.
you'll
Yeah.
get cliffhangered and then you'll feel the need to continue.
Yes, I love that.
So what happened to me that one night when I started watching it, and I had like 9 episodes out or something, and I watched the first 3 episodes, and episode 3 ended, and I just go to our group chat and I just said, "Fuck, I guess I'm watching episode 4."
Yeah. But yeah, I think we'll end this here episode right now. I hope you enjoyed the 9th episode of Gochuucast, where we went over some seasonals and such. Maybe we could be wrong about some of our opinions, like maybe Isekai Uncle is actually peak fiction, but we'll never know because none of us are going to watch it because it looks horrifying, and I will probably have nightmares of it at some point in time if I continue to see that poster. If you want to check us out on audio-only platforms, you can click the link below. It'll take you to our Anchor, which will, by proxy, link you to all of our other, places like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. We post every Saturday at 3 p.m. EST, so you'll head on over there for episode 10 and future episodes when you hit the subscribe button down below. Next week, we have a very special episode. We may be sitting someone in that seat. In the bottom right, who that is, you'll have to find out at Saturday, 3 p.m. EST. Thank you and goodbye.